Hello, friends. Excuse me. It's Mrs. Jane on Fun Day Monday, November the 9th, 2020, with all the fantastic news you can use about our fantastic start to the week. And so we took advantage of Mother Nature's inspiration with sunny, warm weather to get a sunny start to our week. After our temperature check with Mrs. Ann, we came down the stairs and started our arrival routine. By now, you all know we're doing this very well on our own. We're hanging up our backpacks and our jackets and then heading over to the take-home box with our folders, making sure we sanitize our hands, signing in with our t-shirts, and then starting our tabletop activities. Today, on table number 1, we started with our name trains, and then we also did a little tracing, and this time it was the figure of a firefighter. We used our brand new color of brown marker to do that tracing. On table number 2 today, excuse me, we did a little counting, and so again, we continued a little bit of our firefighter theme. We did some dots on the Dalmatian. And as you know, the Dalmatians are the firefighters' friends and helpers. And so each of the kids had dice and a figure of a Dalmatian dog and a black bingo marker. And so they rolled the dice, and that told you how many dots to put on each time until you filled your Dalmatian with all his dots. On table number 3 today, we were decorating our new letter of G, and of course we used some goldfish crackers to get that to look even more gorgeous. After that, we did some, on table number 4, we did some rainbow writing with letter F to close that letter out. And you'll be happy to know, parents, that everybody was able to recognize that F, but just before they did their rainbow writing of it. After all of those tasks were finished, we headed towards the choo-choo line. We lined up. We got our brand new ticket, the brown G. We did some brainstorming of G words for our list, and then we began our adjustment of today's schedule. We had so many things we wanted to pack in. And so we had our train take us on its usual round around the ABC squares, but then the train took a different track. We went around the room to the red carpet in the front of our classroom, right there at the entry door. We all assembled there for a little fire drill practice. We started there by talking about lessons that our firefighters taught us when they came to visit last week, and then some of the emergency things we practiced before that when we had letter E. And so we mentioned the telephone number we need to call in case of an emergency, 911. We talked about if clothes ever got on fire, that we stop, drop, and roll. We also talked about if there was smoke present, that we have to get low and go. After that, we talked about just in case there was any fire at school or danger at school, what we should do. Now, we assured everyone that there was no danger today. It was just pretend. It was just practice in case. And so once everybody was comfortable with that idea, we went on to the next. If there ever needs to be if an emergency procedure at school, it starts with me or Mrs. Ann calling 911, and after that, we go to the black bell that's in the front of our classroom on the wall. We got to demonstrate how that sounds. It's a very big sound, parents, yes. But we heard that a couple of times so we would know what the sound sounded like. And of course, it has to be a big sound, as you know, parents, because if you're way back at the slide or you're in the housekeeping area or you're at the Play-Doh table, you still have to hear it, right? Yeah. So we listened to what that sound would be like, and then we were told that at that point we all come to the door and we're going to get in a line and move out of the building and across the sidewalk, across the parking lot, way to the other side to wait for the firefighters or anybody who would come to help us. We also talked about the fact that we have to be 2 things during fire drill or during an emergency, and that is quick and quiet. We need to be quick to get away from the danger, and we need to be quiet in case we have to hear some instructions. And I think everybody pretty much got that point. And parents, you would be very, very proud of how everyone responded. Everybody was quick. We were quiet. We got out in, I think it was about 2.5 minutes today. We always time ourselves. Yeah. And so to keep us all together, when we lined up today, we used a large line from Mr. Jane's sailboat. I think we mentioned that to you before, so that everybody held onto the rope with their empty hand. It left their ticket hand available as we went up the staircase if you needed to hang on to the railing. And so proceeded outside. We did a really, really good job, parents. You would be very proud of our Fantastic Fours. After our practice with our fire drill, we all came back into the building, and this time we went over to our Hello Circle. We had a chance to do a little bit of our Thanksgiving songs just to energize us again. And so we started with a couple of new ones. One is If You're Thankful and You Know It, and another is a thank you rhyme. They're coming home to you today. And so after that, we had a special guest. Our Tate Eugene's dad, First Sergeant James Eugene, gave us a little talk about our flag and what he does in the Army to kind of put a face and a meaning to that Pledge of Allegiance we do every day. And it was a lovely presentation. He told us all about what he does for the Army and how long he's been doing that, and the fact that it's him and his fellow members of the service that help keep us all safe, and so that we don't have to worry in our daily lives. And so we did post most of that of our circle was Daddy Eugene's conversation with us. After that, we did some more singing and dancing with Turkey Trot and We Are Thankful and On Thanksgiving Day. After that, it was time for a break, parents. So we went off to the necessary room, a little free read in the library, some delicious and nutritious snacks, and then some center time. Today, housekeeping was available for us and lots of things that could go. So the bicycles, the scooter boards, the scooters themselves, the bouncy balls. We had magnet blocks for some building as well. And then we did some painting. And so instead of our small group art project, we incorporated it into the center time. And this was a star painting that used half a sheet of our white construction paper. We glued on about 5 star shapes, we taped them on with painter's tape. Then we took a dish scrubber instead of a paintbrush. We dipped that into some red and blue paint and dabbed that on top. Then we took off the star shapes, and we had white stars in the midst of our kind of our blue and red paint. It's kind of like a combination of fireworks and a negative space. They're actually beautiful, and we're going to incorporate those into our Veterans Day tribute. And then let's see. I think that pretty much took care of the center time. After centers were all enjoyed and cleaned up, we moved over to the library for story time. And today's story, a little silly Thanksgiving story, The Lady Who Swallowed a Turkey. I know, it is silly, but it's a good one. Lucille Calandra's series. After our story, of course, plenty of time for some show and tell, a little preview of what's to come for the rest of the week, a little goodbye song, a treat, and back up those stairs and out to that sunshine again to meet you and finish the rest of our day. Some extra announcements for you, parents. Let's see. As we mentioned, our color is brown now, and our letter is G. So remember, it is a great time to brainstorm some G words. And Wednesday would be our next class day, is Veterans Day, so there is no school for kids. So we would meet up again on Friday. And let's see, speaking of Veterans Day, I hope that everybody had a chance to see their email and a little message on Remind telling about our Veterans Day tribute. We're asking all of the families to let us know names of veterans from your family or active serving military men and women, and we'll incorporate those on the display that we're doing on the glass doors as you enter school. We have the poem up there right now. And then as soon as we get the names of your family members, we'll put those up on the glass door. And then as a follow-up to that, a bit of a language lesson and along with the tribute, we're having each of the kids write a little thank you message to their family member that is either a veteran or an actively serving military. And let's see. Don't forget your book orders are due on the 24th of November. And as we're coming up, this is just an extra reminder that our parent meeting is coming up also. That'll be next week as well on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I think that pretty much does it for here. For now, all the fun on Fun Day Monday. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. As usual, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please reach out. We're here, we'll help. And as always, it's always a good day to have a good day at Jack and Jill. Bye for now.